Right, I'm going to start this with a clip from the Telegraph.
I was coming into Calais Dock, 4 o'clock in the morning. As I'm coming up, 2 immigrants are pulling cones across front of the truck, risking their lives as well as others. So you have to swerve, you hit the bollards, you swerve to go into the dock. You're coming into the dock. You've immigrants that's been in the dock being escorted out by security to top at ramp, as we call it, and then they let go. Try again. Instead they should be locking them up. But it's not happening. I mean, as you can see now, you're coming into a queue now. They're all, where are the police? Where are people that are supposed to be here helping us? There's nobody. We're here on our own. All we're trying to do is earn a living, doing his job.
Now, bleeding heart people like Diane Abbott and others are not concerned about what our lorry drivers are having to go through at Calais. It's fascinating how the left claim to be on the side of workers, but when it comes to immigrants, or well, actually, they're illegal immigrants, so let's call them criminals instead of migrants. When it comes to that, they are more concerned about them than the safety and the working conditions of lorry drivers. So mysteriously, they really are not interested in working people. Anyway, David Cameron called it a swarm. Now I'll leave it here, yeah?
Well, the situation is not acceptable, and it is absolutely this government's priority to deal with it in every way we can. We've got people trying to illegally enter our country, and here in Britain we've got lorry drivers and holidaymakers facing potential delays. And we're going to take action right across the board. Starting with helping the French on their side of the border, we're going to put in more fencing, more resources, more sniffer dog teams, more assistance in any way we can in terms of resources. I'll be speaking with President Hollande later today. I want to thank him for the extra French police resources that have been put in, that have had some effect, but we are keen to offer more and work hand in glove with them to reduce the pressure on that side of the border. Here in Kent, we need to do more to help lorry drivers and holiday makers. We're going to do everything we can to reduce the disruption, including using MOD land, and we'll be looking at other options that we can take as well. Look, this is going to be a difficult issue right across the summer. I'll have a team of senior ministers who will be working to deal with it, and we rule nothing out in taking action to deal with this very serious problem. We're absolutely on it.
Yep, David Cameron was absolutely right to call the present invasion of immigrants from Calais a swarm. That's what it is. And for Harriet Harman and Diane Abbott and other lefties to be saying how wrong it is, they just don't understand where the British people are. And the thing is, they think they're being compassionate by saying we should let them in. The fact is they've been trafficked into Europe, they've got to Calais, they have a rate of people to meet when they get to this country where they end up in modern slavery. I mean, the thing is, people are actually being forced on farms in Suffolk, across East Anglia, in fact. I mean, this kind of stuff started with the help of Labour's open door immigration policy. And we don't want to more people to come in to be exploited. I mean, this has to stop. And the left just don't seem to actually understand that by allowing more and more immigrants in, we are allowing more and more people to be exploited. And like, I mean, some of them have actually told me, lefties have told me that, well, it would be better for them to be in slavery in this country than be in the poverty that in the countries they've been in. I mean, excuse me. Now, the mayor of Calais has actually threatened to let more migrants in. Because he doesn't like the way that we are talking about strengthening border control in France. I mean, it's nice to actually see some French people getting aggressive, but the time to have done that was probably in 1940. But like, I don't think the French are that bothered, because they're trying to invade this country rather than theirs. The French are pretty hopeless at defending their borders anyway, aren't they? I mean, well, I mean, freedom of movement, it probably suits them fine. But like, I mean, the EU needs to actually be more involved. And the thing is, we have to remember that freedom of movement is a central tenet of the federalist ideology adhered to by the anti-democracy people in Brussels. This isn't actually helping the situation either. And one of the things that would help us control our borders is by us leaving the EU.